It is no secret to anybody on this committee that I think that antitrust enforcement not only needs to be a top priority, but we need to make significant changes to our antitrust laws in order to ensure that we are doing everything we can to get real antitrust enforcement in this century. Let me just come to you, Mr. Andier. I noticed since last April, Apple has bought back $58 billion in stock. That's a big number. Quite a shift from where you were under Steve Jobs, who used to insist that Apple wouldn't buy back stock because it needed to innovate, it needed to retain those profits in order to reinvest. But you've clearly changed position. That's fine. I just want to focus on one major source of that income. It's not innovation. It's not research and development. It's the monopoly rents that you collect out of your app store. Now, I noticed that you today have referred to the need to have that monopoly control over the App Store in terms of the security rationale behind it. Tim Cook has said the same thing. He said recently in a New York Times podcast that Apple needed to lock up the ecosystem, the iOS ecosystem, so it could limit vulnerability. The thing about that seems strange to me is you don't seem to spend very much money on security. I mean, all of the money you make on your Apple tax, you don't invest very much of it into actual security. In fact, it looks to me like you didn't even launch your bounty program where you pay researchers to discover security vulnerabilities on iOS until 2016. When you did that, you capped it. You had a hard cap on the spend. You finally raised the level somewhat in 2019. So it doesn't seem to be that big of a priority. So let me just ask you this. Here's my question. Will Apple commit to spending all of the money that it raises, all of the income it raises out of that Apple tax, all those monopoly rents, will it commit to spending all of those on security, since that's allegedly why you need to have a monopoly in this market?
Senator, I appreciate the question. We've invested billions of dollars in securing our iPhone, our App Store, and all of our products. This is a priority for us each and every day we wake up, 24/7, 365 days a year. So if you look at the App Store and app review process, we get 100,000 submissions each week. We have a combination of AI and human review to review all of those. We reject 40% of them because they may pose some sort of either performance, security, privacy risk to consumers. And so this is something we take incredibly seriously. And if you look at the objective studies that are out there, time and time again, they find that the iPhone is the most secure platform and the most secure device available in the marketplace.
I didn't. Thank you for that. I don't think I heard a yes or no though in there. So let me just try again. Will you commit to spending, if security is the reason you need to have this monopoly and collect these monopoly rents, which are sizable? Will you commit to spending that money, all of it, on security for apps?
Senator, the App Store, we're going to continue to invest in the App Store. There's a number of things that we do to ensure that developers are able to create their apps. There's all the tools and resources and applications that we make available to developers. That's part of what's at issue with our model. We also invest, obviously, to make sure that our marketplace is trusted and safe for consumers. So there's a number of competing investments and incentives for us to make sure that we continue to create the very best experience.
I don't mean to cut you off. I just have limited time. That sounds like a no to me, which is kind of what I thought you'd say. My concern with that is just it makes it hard for me to ignore the major dangers to competition that your monopoly in the iOS market poses. Now, you recently announced that the smallest developers in the App Store will pay a reduced fee, 15%. It's very generous of you. You announced earlier that you take only 15% from subscription revenue after the first year. You take 30% in that first year. Here's my question. Does Apple ever cut more generous deals to well-connected executives in other companies, to big-time companies, not to the small companies, but do you ever cut more generous deals to the really big companies?
Senator, we do not. A fundamental principle since the very beginning is we treat all developers the same. And so when we launched this store 12 years ago, we took the price, which was 60, 70%, and took it all the way down to 30%, in part because we wanted to encourage those new small and mid-sized businesses to enter this market. And what we've seen over the last 12 years, as we've evolved that model and we've reduced price time and time again, is now we have a marketplace with 1.7 million apps, 85% which pay nothing. So we think it's been an incredible benefit to startups, to small and mid-sized businesses, and individual entrepreneurs.
Well, I find that answer strange because the House Judiciary Antitrust Subcommittee uncovered documents from 2016 that showed that Eddie Q of your company negotiated a deal directly with Jeff Bezos at Amazon for a special deal for Prime Video, whereby Apple would collect just 15% of the revenue from customers signing up within the Amazon app for Prime Video. Now, I'm curious on what basis these special terms were offered to Amazon.
Senator, there was no special deal provided solely to Amazon. Those negotiations led to a new program on the App Store, the Premium Video Partner Program. There are over 200 developers that have taken advantage of this program, including Amazon. So there are a number of developers. It's open to all. It's another instance in which we've reduced the price to developers to encourage new innovation and investment. And we made those same terms available to every developer.
So the program is the established program for premium subscription video entertainment providers, if I'm correct. What happened here, for those who are keeping score at home, is that years later, when it was discovered that Apple had given Amazon a special deal, Apple comes back and says, "Oh, no, we've had a program. It's established. It's this program for premium subscription video entertainment providers." That's a mouthful. Of course, premium subscription video entertainment providers means it wasn't by definition open to everybody. This is not the first time that Apple has done this. The House Antitrust Subcommittee revealed that Apple granted Baidu, that's a Chinese company, a fast track through the app review process and even assigned 2 employees to give Baidu concierge service. You've also given Netflix special deals that other smaller developers like AppHey didn't get, for example. It looks like to me, here's my point. It looks like to me that what you've done is you've been willing to cut special deals with other major companies who already have significant market power and have significant market share and could use it to squeeze you. But for smaller competitors who are trying to get into the market, for those guys and gals, there you really put the squeeze on them. Isn't that accurate?
Respectfully, Senator, it is not. We have operated a store for the last 12 years that has continually looked for ways to encourage small and independent businesses to grow and develop on the App Store. There is program after program that we've launched. We feature these apps on our App Store in terms of small and innovative applications. We launched the Small and Mid-Sized Business Program last year, which reduced the commission for small businesses that were subject to the commission. So we're going to continue to find ways to invest to make it possible for everyone to create on the App Store.
Well, my time has expired. I look forward to pursuing some additional questions with you and for the other witnesses in writing. But I'll just note in closing that what it looks like to me, the pattern here, is that Apple is happy to jerry-rig the rules and is happy to cut special side deals and is happy to try and turn away, keep big-time competitors from cutting into your market, make special deals with them while putting the squeeze and the lid on small competitors, all in service of keeping this gravy train of monopoly rents flowing. That's a big problem, and it's one I think that it's time that we addressed, and that's one of the reasons I'm glad we've had this hearing today. Thank you, Madam Chair.